Aloha, Rich Halverson here. This is ITS128, and this is the last class of the semester. Today I'm going to go over chapter 12. So let me share my screen. I'll share this one here. And if we go to the textbook, we're doing the last chapter, which is chapter 12 on files. There's a couple of there are some challenge activities. We'll do those, and then I also notice in my in the list of resources, I should have renamed this on all the files, on all of them. But this last one is video spreadsheet listed. I should have I didn't rename them on the other ones. I think that this is this class. Anyway, I don't have the I can't find a video on this one, 12.8. So I'll do that at the end of I'll do that today also. All right, so files, this chapter we learn how Python can read and write, files off of your disk. And for reading files, it starts out with this open method here, which you have a name of a directory, or name of a file here, which is going to be in the same directory that the program is in. And you open it up, and then you have this thing, which you can call it a handle, or a handle's not a bad name for it, a file object. And then with this file object comes a bunch of methods. And for reading, the main method that you're going to use is this read method. And so by using the read method that comes along with a file object, you're able to read all the contents into a variable. And in this case, it reads it into a variable called the contents. And then this now contains everything that this file contains. This string variable contains everything that this file contains. So you can you open files, you read them, and then you close them. You have to close the file when you're done with it. So otherwise, if you leave it open, then other programs cannot open it, and you can also run into some problems sometimes. So there's also this read lines. This read method here just takes the whole contents of the file and just sticks it into a variable. Read lines reads the file as a list, and each element in the list is a line in the file. So if it's got 10 lines in the file, this will return a list of 10 elements, and each element is a line in the file. So depending on how you want to do it. See, this will read all the lines, and now this is a list. It's got a bunch of lines of the file. And so you can iterate over a list here where we read it in, and we use this read lines method, which means that this is now a list of lines. And then you can, of course, you can iterate over the lines and reference each line a line at a time. All right, so let's do this. Let's do some challenge activities here. So a file's name is read from input. So we have a file name here. It's called fig file. Well, the file is right here, and it's going to be one of these files. See, like this file has got a bunch of names and then some numbers, names and numbers, names and numbers, names and numbers, whatever, okay? And so first of all, we're going to read the name. The user is going to type in the name of a file. It's going to be one of these, and that's going to be stored in this variable. And then we're going to open the file with this code. And we're going to do something else. Okay, let's see what we're going to do. The file is opened and fig file is assigned to the file object. That's this file object. Each line in fig file contains a name and an integer representing a customer's name and a number of figs bought by the customer. Read fig file's contents into a list of strings. So this would be a list of strings. So this would be something like fig file dot read lines. Okay, that now it's a list of strings in here in fig data. I don't know if this is this. Let's see if this is right. I guess it's right. That's all we had to do. All right, what's the next one? SCR name, source name is assigned with the file's name read from input. Perform the following tasks. Open the file. Assign a variable called leak file to the object. Okay, so we're going to open this file, a leak file equals open src name. That's the name of file that's going to open it, and this is going to be the file object. Then use leak file's read lines to read the contents of this file and assign leak data to the list of strings read. So leak data equals leak file dot read lines. That's it. Close leak file. Make sure you close leak file. Leak file dot close. And then we're going to iterate through each line in leak data that was read in, and we're going to print them out. There's already a return at the end of each line, so you don't need to have this. All right, let's see if this works. All right, okay, what's the last one? Okay, a file's name is read from input, okay, and we have a file name which is in variable TIE file. The file is opened and TIE file is assigned to the file object. Well, that's what this is. Each line in TIE file contains an integer representing the number of ties sold in a transaction. Perform the following tasks. Open each integer file. Oh, each integer read from TIE file. Let's see. So I guess I'm just going to go TIE file, assign found order. Files over TIE file, assign object. Each line in TIE file contains an integer representing the number of ties sold in a transaction. Ties, tie, okay. I'm going to say tie data equals tie file dot read lines. And then I'm going to say assign found order with true if at least one integer in the file is at least 15. So I guess I got a loop For ties in tie data, I better start by setting file order equal to false. Found order equals false. Start with that. Is it false? Capital F? Is it supposed to be cat? Does anybody know? It's okay. I think it's capital F. Yeah. Okay. There we go. And then for ties and tie data, if ties is equal to 15, then found order equals true. Assign the last sold with the last integer in the file. Okay, the last integer in the file. Oh, okay, I'm just gonna say last sold equals ties. So as this thing loops, each time it's going to assign the integer that's found. See, these are integers in here. See these integers? There are all these integers here. Each time it loops, it's just going to assign last sold to the integer, and so this will be the last integer because when this thing loops, it's going to loop from the beginning to the end, and at the end, it's going to be the last one. So then this is going to end up being the last one. So I don't have to do anything special. If it wanted me to save the second to the last one, then that'd be a different story. I'd have to save the last one and the second to the last one, so on. So but here we only have to save the last one, so we don't have to do anything special. We just save it each time it goes through the loop, and the last time it goes through the loop, it'll be on the last one, and that's the one that'll be saved. Now I don't know if this is going to work. Am I supposed to print something out? Well, I'm just going to check this and see what happens. Oh, I didn't get it. Okay, where did I not get? Oh, I'm supposed to print something out. Oh, I'm supposed to print out every one of them. I see. Output each integer read from tie file. Well, there's where I messed up. So I'm going to say print ties. And I wonder if, yeah, I'm going to try this. It might not be right because I think I might need to do something like this. Let's see what happens. It has the returns in there. So okay, I need to ties int equals int ties. Okay, I need an integer version of this, and now I think I can print this, and then I need an integer version of that. Okay, so let's see if this works. These are going to be strings. Obviously, these are strings, even though these are string characters, and I need to convert them into an integer. So I'm going to this variable here. Let's see if this works. Oh, no. Oops, not quite. Oh, did I get all the points? Well, this should have been this. Now, another way I could do this is I could just do. I could skip this line and just make this be int of ties, and this be int of ties, and this be int of ties. See that this should work also. Yeah. All right. So anyway, that's that one. That's reading. Next we do writing. And so it's same kind of thing, except for writing can be more complicated because sometimes you might want to just write into a file and you don't care about what was there before. You just want to get rid of what was there before and you just want to write to a file. Or you might want to append to the file. You might want to go down to the end and you want to write more to the file. You want to go down to the end of what's there and you want to leave what's there and you want to add on to the end of it. So so if you're just going to write, so you use the same open function, but then you have this second argument here, and the second argument is going to be a W for write. It's going to be an R for read. Its default is read, and it's going to have an A for append. Additionally, a programmer can add a plus character to the end of a mode to specify an update mode, which means you can update mode allows you both reading and writing of the file at the same time. And so you can also like back up too. We'll see that too. You can back up. So okay, so let's do the okay, so and there's also this flush up because when you're writing to a file, you're actually writing to a buffer, and the buffer does not get flushed until you close the file. So as your your program can be executing and your write statements can be executing, but you're not seeing anything being written into the file itself. You might be checking that, and that's because the data has not quite yet gotten to the disk. It's being stored in the output buffer, and then when the output buffer gets full enough, then it gets written to the disk, or when the file closes, it gets written to the disk. But if you want to force the flushing of the buffer, writing it to this, you can just do this flush method. All right, so let's do some challenge activities here. File name colors data and value one color val read from input. See, so they're oh, first they're read from input. Okay, that's colors data and one color val. Open the file colors data for writing and assign colors val. No, assign this variable name to the open file. So start open file colors file equals open parentheses colors data, comma, we're just going to open it as a write W on the W. Okay. For writing and assign colors file to the open file. Okay. Write one color val followed by a new line to colors file. Okay, so we do colors file, write one color val plus new line, I think. Close colors file. That's how you close it. So I think this will work. Let's see if it does. All right, there we go. So it added whatever this input was to all of these things. Okay, got that one. All right, what's next? Oops. This one. All right. File data3 text is open. So am I recording? I can't remember if I pressed the record button or not. I think I am. How do I pause this thing? Oh, pause. Yeah, I must be recording. All right. There's a new interface here. Oh well. All right. So so data3 text is open for writing. That's this. And file object is assigned to the open file. That's this. Integer first num is read from input. That's this. Read from input. Complete the following tasks. Write sequence of 3 colon space to the file object. All right, let's do that. File obj dot write sequence of 3 colon space close quote write the values. I'm just going to go to that. Write the values first num. Okay, so file obj write write the values first num. I think I can just do this. Will it put spaces in? I might not put spaces. Okay, well, all right, I'm gonna do it this way. What's first num? And then first num times 5. Let's see if this works. String first num plus space plus string first num times 5 is 5 plus space plus string first num times 25. And then I might as well throw the new line in there, plus new line. Okay, so just a comment you might notice, I'm not consistent at all when I use single quotes or double quotes. Sometimes I use single, sometimes I use double. It's just they just have to be, of course, consistent with when you start with a single, you got to end with a single. So, all right. So I don't know if this is going to work. Let's see if it'll work. I guess it worked. All righty. Okay, let's do the last one. Oh, gotta do the last one. Okay. File name pigments data and value 1 pigment val are read from input. So we got pigments data here and 1 pigment val. Perform the following tasks. Open file pigments data. Open file with a W plus. and assign pigments file with the open file. Pigments file equals open. I wonder if they want us to use with. We talked about with yet? No, we don't. With this later. Open pigments data, comma, with a W plus. Okay. For reading and writing at the same time. Write, okay, pigments file, write, pigment one, pigment val. Okay, overwriting, okay, right. And then call pigments file flush. Pigments file flush. Well, this doesn't seem, let's see if this works. Oh, I guess I got it. Boy, it sure seemed easy. All right, well, anyway, so that's that. So you should go through the remaining sections of this chapter. Interacting with file systems. Learn this OS module's got a bunch of extra stuff in there to help you manipulate files. Binary data is like if you're going to store pictures and stuff, you're not storing characters and lines, you're storing just, you know, byte after byte after byte. So that's looks more like this. A little bit more complicated to do binary files. Command line arguments. I'm surprised they put this in this chapter. I don't know why, but it just talks about the command line, and of course we use the command line. Our labs now use the command line. The with statement. Okay, the with statement is where you can use the with statement for other things other than just opening and closing or opening, reading, and writing files. But what it is you're able to, with the with statement, you open the file, you know, that's the file object name, and then you indent everything, and then when you're done, the with statement, or when you're done with the with statement, then it'll automatically close the file. So we see this here, this thing, this opens the file, and notice this is all indented, and F is the file object name, so we use F here. But then when you're done, you just go back to the left tab one, and you're out of the with block, and then it automatically closes the file. So that's kind of convenient. The other thing to learn about is comma separated files, and you know, you may use these a lot. Something like this, that this file will open up in Excel as a spreadsheet with these columns named, these columns 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 columns, and these are the values for each of the values in each column. So like column HW2, column HW2 is the HW2 followed by and then the 8, and then below that is the 10, and below that is the 2. The name column, of course, is the first column, and below the word name is the one person's name, a second person's name, a third person's name, and so on. So that's how a CSV file works. And there's a special module which makes it easy to manipulate, read and write these comma separated value files. That's what CSV stands for, in case you didn't know that. So you're able to you're able to this is the handle, and then this ends up being Okay, so here we're reading up a CSV file. We're reading up this file, reading it, and CSV file is the handle, and then so this reader here, the CSV reader operating on the handle for this file here. Oh, you can specify the delimiter. The delimiter can be like a tab. That's the other common delimiter for these files that open up as an Excel spreadsheet. So this thing will return a list of lists. Okay, so this is a bunch of rows, and each row is a list of elements in the row. So this thing is all the rows. This thing is all these rows. It's all these rows. But then within each row, that's a list. So the first row is going to contain this list, this, and this, and the next row is going to contain this, and this, and these are lists. So you can reference them, separately. So you can reference the elements separately. Where do we see that? This isn't a very good example for that. Anyway, so go through this, make sure you understand that. Let's do this lab here. Okay, so in this lab, skip. Okay, this lab, 12.8 word frequencies. Write a program that first reads in the name of an input file and then reads the file using the csv.reader method. The file contains a list of words separated by commas. The program must output the words and their frequencies. And the frequencies, by the frequencies, I mean the number of times each word appears in the file without duplicates. All right, so this is a CSV file that only has one row, so it's not really a good example of a list of lists, but so this is the file name, and this is the contents of the file. And what you're supposed to do is you're supposed to say for each word how many times it appears, and you only want to list the word once. So the first word is hello, and so hello is printed out, and then the number of times hello appears in this list, and case matters. So this is not the same as this. So this hello only appears once. Okay, the next word it encounters is cat, and so then it outputs cat, and then it counts how many times cat is in here, and oh look, it's in here twice, once here and once here. So then it's going to print out a 2. And then it's going to come back and look at the next word, and this is a new word, so the man is the next word, finds it twice, comes back, hay's a new word, dog is a new word, boy is a new word, this is a new word. This is not a new word, so it's not going to print this out again. After it prints out this, it's not going to print out man because it already printed out man up here. Okay, so anyway, it's kind of a dumb program. All right, so let's use all these things that we. Okay, so first of all, we need to import CSV. There we go. And then we have a CSV reader is the only thing, so we don't need to. Okay, so then we have a some file is in some file name is input. So we read in a file name, and then let's the way we're going to do this is we're going to maintain a list of unique words. Okay, so we'll start out by list of words. And we're gonna initialize that as an empty list. And then we're gonna open this file. We're gonna open this file, so let's do that. And let's use the with command, with open some file as a read. And I'm gonna call it a CSV file. This is a CSV file. And then I'm gonna say the colon there. And then I'm gonna say CSV rows is equal to CSV dot reader of the CSV file. And then I say what the delimiter is, DELIMITER equals a comma. Okay, so this thing is the whole file. This thing is the whole file. And then the CSV reader is going to take this whole file and it's going to break it up into a bunch of rows. So rows are separated with a line feed, so each row is a line. Turns out this file has only one row, but whatever. And each row is a list. Each row is a list, and the list is got a bunch of string elements, and those string elements are separated with a comma. So that's this. This is a row. It's got a bunch of string elements. It's got 1, 2, 3, 4, and so on. And each string element is the string elements are separated with commas. That's what this is. Okay, so this is a bunch of rows. And then now I'm going to loop. So I'm going to do for each row in CSV rows. Okay, now you recall a row is a list of elements. It's a list of strings, a list of elements. It's a list of words. A list of words. I'm going to say it's a list of words. So I'm going to say for each row in CSV for. I can do it that way, can't I? So I'm going to try to do it a different way than I have. For each word in row, hope this will work. For each word in row, if word is not in word list, if it's not in the word list, then it's a brand new word. We haven't encountered it yet. Then we're gonna start by printing out the word. Print the word. Let's see. Wait a second. Let's do some other stuff first. All right. So I have a word here. I have a brand new word that is not in the list. Now I got to count how many times that word is in the list. Okay. I only have to count forward. I don't have to count backwards, because if there's one backwards, then I should have gotten that, or I should have gotten that on the first one. But so I could have another for loop. I could have another loop to go through all the rest of the words in word list to see if it's equal to this one. Or I can use this fancy count instruction, this count method. If we go back to strings and we go to string methods, I'm going to open this up, right click and open it up in a new tab. There is a method called count. count returns the number of times X occurs in the string. So we have a string, and then we have this count method. And so this particular thing is going to count how many times OO is in this string. So we can use this method to count how many times the word is in the whole string. Okay. So let's say, so I'm going to say, so I'm going to have some temporary variables here. N for number of words equals word list. No, row. It's row. It's word list. Oh no, it's row. It's a row of words. Row dot count of word. So that counts the number of words in row. So the first time it hits hello, it's going to count the number of hellos in row. This is row. This whole thing is row. And next is going to count cat and so on. Okay, so N is what I want. And so now how am I supposed to print this out? I'm supposed to print it out like this. The word followed by a hyphen followed by some number. So I'm going to print print the word followed by a hyphen followed by N for the number. This is the number of times this is in this, which is what I want. The number of times hello is in this whole thing. Okay, so each time it goes through, it's going to go through all the words in the list. If it encounters it for the oh geez, so all right, I got to make sure I got to make sure I put word in the list. So, word list dot append word. So I got to make sure I add word to the word list. So the next time I come around, I don't see it as a new word. If I didn't do this, then each time it's going to see it as a new word. In fact, let's see what happens. Let's see what happens when I leave this out. Okay, let's run it. What is it expecting? It's expecting input.csv, input1.csv, input1.csv. CSV rows is not defined. Did I mean CSV CSV CVS? Did I say CVS? Wonder why I thought of CVS. CSV. All right, let's try it again. Oh, wait. Run. Oh, it's waiting for me. Input 1.csv. Word list. What am I doing wrong here? Oh, didn't I define? Oh, list of words. I called it list of words. No wonder. List of words. Is that list of words? List of words. This is going to be list of words also, I guess. When I enable this, it's going to be list of words. All right. Well, anyway, let's try this again. Input 1.csv. And okay, see, so this time, you notice a cat. Huh? Wait a second. Why is cat? cat, man. Oh, here we go. Oh, here are the rest of them. Okay, the reason I didn't see it. Open this up a little bit. Anyway, so there we see hello once, we see cat twice. We see cat here, and we see cat here. We see man here, we see man here. The reason we're seeing repeats is because we aren't saving the fact that we've seen it already. So that's what this line does. This saves the fact that it's seen it already, and then when it comes back around and it does this check, it's going to find that word is in the list of words. So now when we run this, we type input1 CSV, we see that we only see these things. We only see cat once and man once and hey once and so on. All right, so I think that'll work for 12.8. Anybody have any questions? All right, okay, so I think that's all I have today. The second lab you can find in the list of videos, but I'm going to put this, I'll add this to the list of videos. All right, so I guess that's it. And so if you have any questions on your assignments or anything, just let me know. If you need more time, if let's see, so my grades are due. This is the last week of regular class, and next week is finals. Is that right? Okay, yeah. There's no final in this class, so you can just finish up all your stuff, and so my grades are due, I guess, 2 weeks from today, early in the morning. So you have to have everything done by, try to get everything done by a week from Sunday. That's the Sunday after the last day of finals. So you can get A's on all your finals for your other classes, and then you got a little bit of time left to get an A in this class. And if you need more time after that, just let me know. I'm flexible. All right, so thanks for watching.